Good morning, guys. I've been sitting on a thought that I've been wanting to share for the past few days, and I think it's very important for men to understand this, or at least Christian men. Even for Christian women, you know, a man has to understand that he was created for God, right? And his purpose is the most significant thing that God can give him. And woman was created for man, meaning woman was created to be a help to man, to fellowship with man. Man was created to fellowship with God. There is a hierarchy in these things. Now, the reason why it's an important thought and the reason why I think I should share it is because we live in a world today where you would find that a lot of men are going after women in a sense where they're willing to compromise who they are or maybe their purpose just to have a woman because they're scared of being alone or scared of not being able to have that woman that they want, you know? And this is a very, very dangerous mentality to have. I think that a man's mentality should be primarily on God, focusing on God and being who God wants him to be. A woman should be a helper on that path, but he should not be deviating from that path to the right or to the left. And any woman that joins him on that path should be helping him on that path. He's not deviating his path to follow her, to go help her on her path. She's coming to help him. That's her purpose, to be a helper for him to get to where God has ordained for him to go. Now, this may be a difficult reality for some women to accept, but if a woman is truly reasonable and in the Lord, she will understand what I'm saying and how true it is. Um, so, as a man, it's very important that you do not compromise your beliefs or what is true, for just so that you have a woman. Because let me present this to you. If you're a guy who's willing to sacrifice or compromise who he is for a woman, how would you be able to withstand the tides of the world when things get rough and it gets tough and you have to stand on your principles, to really stand on who you are? It's funny because I've been learning recently how reason is always more powerful than emotions. You see, when look at people who die for the Lord, martyrs, right, of the faith. What motivates them to be able to go through the horrible things that they have gone through? They know the truth, and their reason in the truth, in spirit, is stronger than their emotions, than the fear of whatever it is that they are to go through or the pain. Now, these men are so great in our eyes, and women who have died like this, men and women alike. And if we, as young men, I would even include women, but I'm speaking specifically in this video about two young men. If we as young men want to be great in the Lord and want to truly follow the Lord, how can you compromise on something as basic as the woman that is to share your life with you? Listen, it is better to be alone and to suffer alone. And you suffering alone is because you have love inside of you and you have the knowledge of who you are and what you can be, but maybe those things are not in place at the time in your life. But it's better to suffer that way than to compromise who you are. Because once you compromise who you are, man, it's a downward spiral that you'll regret for a long time. You know, when you betray your own conscience, there's nothing worse than betraying your own conscience. When you betray your own conscience, you are like a coward, man. You are like a coward. And I speak about these things because even growing up as a kid, if I was approaching a woman, or let's say a girl, because I was much younger at the time, I would, if a girl wanted something and she had some dreams, I would just play around, or I could just play around to act as if I could provide that dream or fit into that dream, so that I could just get the girl. It was almost a game. But we are men now. We've put away childish things. We don't play games. We're honest. And at the same time, I mean, a woman has the prerogative to choose what man that she wants, right? But the point is, that's the truth. But the point is specifically for men, if she does not want you, let it go. Do not compromise who you are. And remember, you in particular are the one who needs to vet her even more than she's vetting you. Because if you're following God, God is the ultimate vet of a man's character. And God, of course, will vet the woman that it is that you're interested in. But you need to be watching and checking to see what kind of character she has. Because believe me, man, there's nothing more important than that, than the character of a woman. And vice versa, there's nothing more important than the character of a man. So you need to be checking and watching these things, you know. Never compromise. Even if she is somewhat of a righteous woman, do not compromise something that you know is true to you for a woman, because it's a downward spiral that will only continue. Or let me present the idea, eventually you realize that you're not going to do such things anymore, and then let's say you get married to this person and it will seem as if you have changed, and then you end up hurting her because you are no longer the person that she thought that you would be. So always be true to God, and by being true to God you will also be true to yourself. That's what it is, man. And remember, just as I just mentioned with women, I mentioned with a lot of things in life, whether it be women, gold, silver, money, whatever. Do not compromise your integrity that God has given you for these things. Listen, we have a great example of great men of God who have paid the ultimate sacrifice of their lives for the sake of Jesus Christ. We, a lot of us who are watching this, only have a little that we need to stand on. Do not fold. Do not fold. I emphasize again, do not fold. I think that's about it for this video. I did say that I will continue to talk about my journey in athletics in the previous video, and I will do that, God willing, in a video that I will release early next week. But I'm really loving actually sharing these thoughts that I have and testimonies as well. I think it's actually really important. For a large portion of my life, I really wasn't talking at all. I was just a guy minding his business. But thank the Lord for everything, and I hope you guys have an absolutely splendid weekend, splendid day, whatever it is, whenever it is you watch this. Jesus bless.